Hello and welcome to the BALAYpony. This is a really fun technique to use with a variety of ponytails and balayaging. It's super quick and it gives a very soft and subtle type of look, and you don't have to spend a very long time hand painting the entire head of hair. My name is Sara Gallagher and I'm with Surface Hair, and today I'll be working with a few essentials from Surface Hair. The first thing that is essential to a great balayage is the Surface Pure Blonde Lightening Powder from Nature. As you can see, it's a really creamy consistency here. The mixing ratio of this is 1 part lightening powder to 2 parts enzyme cream activator. Today we used 30 volume enzyme cream activator. Due to the fact that she's so dark, we want to lift up to 7 levels for our balayage. Our sectioning starts with a zigzag-like pattern that is across the entire side ridge as well as the rear ridge. And notice that I did zigzag that so that it has really perfect integration. We have 4 simple ponytails in our bob shape today, and we dropped out the entire fringe as well, which we'll get in with a really special surface art tool for that a little bit later. The BALAYpony technique is really easy. You just want to make sure that when you do secure those ponytails with an elastic, that they're really nicely anchored and everything is nice and smooth to that point. We'll start in the very back here. And again, we isolated the green and the black zone here on the top, and then we pulled up our red zones on the sides, dropping out that back. Notice that I did separate that top from the black zone by itself and then having the green zone with the fringe dropped out. Really super easy. We'll take our Pure Blonde Lightning from Nature here. I'm just going to lightly start to balayage this ponytail, working all the way around. Notice that I am touching just the tip here, holding it really nice and secure. And I'm just lightly brushing on the Pure Blonde. And then using my hand, we're going to completely saturate the entire tip here of the ponytail. Now remember, with balayaging, when you completely saturate, you're going to get that wonderful pop. But these very, very light brushes will allow for a wonderful transition. This is essentially your very perfect hand-painted BALAYpony. We'll now drop that and move on to the very next section. So as you can see, this will really move relatively quickly. Again, we're working with Surface Pure Blonde, and I'm using very, very light pressure when applying this, working in the direction that the hair is moving, working up towards the ceiling, and just lightly painting that over top. This would be wonderful to work with Pure Blonde over the new High Demi Level 7s coming out soon in the fall. So as you can see towards the end here, we're using my hand almost like a foil board for that complete saturation. So we have from the base of the pony to about the mid pony, we have really light brush strokes working in the direction of the hair always. And then we start to saturate the last 2 inches of the hair and lightly push that Pure Blonde in for maximum pop. Working on to that next ponytail here. To execute all these ponytails really nicely, I did work with our Trinity Protein Tonic, and that allowed protection prior to this lightening service, but also gave that hair a little bit of control so I could efficiently put everything into that ponytail. So again, really light brush strokes, and then lastly, that saturation. So with our true balayage format here, we get in with our Pure Blonde tint brush and lightly pat some of that product, some of that pure blonde, lightly pat that all through the mid shaft, and then longer sweeps, more like petting, and then finally we'll push those ends to give a really good pop of color on the end. So I'm going to continue in the same manner, again working on the other side. We only worked with 4 ponytails here. You can see how fast this goes. So this is a wonderful add-on balayage that you can do in the salon to generate more revenue behind the chair. Balayage is so hot right now that it's very difficult to allot tons of time to balayage ahead of time for some really busy stylists, so this can be a quick way to use the balayaging with the BALAYpony. Lightly flutter that all the way down and then saturate those ends. When I get into the front here, into the fringe, we're going to work with our surface balayage wand. We're going to lightly load our balayage wand on one side. You just want to load it in the chevrons really nicely. We're going to even it out on one side. And now I'm going to decorate my haircut here in the fringe with that surface balayage wand and pure blonde. So I'm holding that fringe really nicely. I'm going to go in on an angle. And you can see how nicely that surface wand is creating this beautiful balayage effect. We'll just use the end here to blur that. And this will decorate our haircut. Again, let's reload just on one side. And the chevrons, we want to make sure that's really nice and smooth. We'll even it out on one side. And then again on a slight angle, we'll take our surface balayage wand, decorate our fringe, and just let that be. I love to do that in the fringe. And then again, for another quick add-on, we can just do this in through the back. You can see how fast the service is actually going here. Loading on the chevrons, even it out on one side, and then work that through. I even have enough, a little bit on the ends here. And one last time, we're just looking for a tiny glimmer of lightener back here. Give that sun-kissed effect. But using the surface balayage wand and the pure blonde, you can really get a nice effect really quickly and work smarter, not harder behind the chair. At this point, we have finished our entire application. I want to say that took maybe 5 minutes or less, and we're going to use some cellophane to cover the entire top and process to desired level. So let's cover this. We're going to keep in all of that hydration so that we can really get the maximum lift here. Again, we use the 30 volume so we can get up to 7 levels. So check back with us once we finished our process.